Well, hello from Wagner Farms. Guess what we're doing? Doing something that when you were a young kid you probably thought would, it's no big deal, but as you get older you think, yeah, it's kind of gross. Well, in this case, maybe not so much. We're looking underneath piles of cow poop. And the reason we're looking is for worms. The worms will give us a good idea just how healthy the ground is.
But now these aren't fresh cow piles.
Yeah, these aren't fresh cow piles. But now this one's been here, and you can see the grass is actually starting to push this one up. Let's see all the worms down here and in the cow pie. That is indications of a really healthy ground.
Let's go to the next one.
One of the advantages that we have is that when we run our cattle, this is one we'd already flipped over. But when we run our cattle through the field, here's a good one over here, or not through the field, but we don't use dewormer. If you use dewormer, what you end up doing is the cows will poop it on the ground, and that dewormer stays in the manure.
Oh my God. Look, that is amazing.
And with the dewormer in the manure, it kills the earthworms. So now there's a couple things. When you do that, you've got to make sure and watch your cattle. Any cattle that are wormy and don't adapt, you get rid of them. And you end up having cattle that are specific to your area. And when you do that, all these worms is what makes your soil healthy. They'll actually bring the pH level back to where it needs to be. They bore down in the ground, so when you have rainfall, it doesn't all run off. It actually stays in the ground. Now this field, you can look in it. Look at the amount of grass that is here. You can see all the new growth coming up. So, we've got still this much stockpiled grass. This field was grazed back in December. Back in December.
Mm-hmm.
This field, because this was the last field that was grazed before we moved them to the other farm. But you can see it has come back. The new growth is coming on. We'll be bringing the cattle back here probably in April, but they won't get into this field until probably May.
Now explain why we don't worm them because of our rotational grazing. They don't need to be wormed because they're on fresh grass every single.
Well, true.
So because I don't want people to think we don't take care of our animals.
Yeah, no, we definitely take care of them, but that's
right.
What I'm saying. You have animals that don't adapt to your area, where they just stay thin and they stay basically wormy, you get rid of them. And they go to a farm where they do use dewormer and things like that. But with our cattle, we do everything as natural as we can, where they don't ever see dewormer and they don't ever see antibiotics or anything like that unless they are actually sick, in which case they get pulled out of the time of, if they were steers, to where they would be going to slaughter. They won't be doing that. But I just wanted to show you the manure. The other thing we were doing, you can see we put up new bird boxes. We put out 11 bird boxes today, and that's to get our field swallows here. We love those birds because they eat flies.
Mm-hmm.
And the more flies they eat, the less flies that are on our cows.
And no pink eye.
And no pink eye. That's always good.
Yeah.
We just thought we'd show you the piles of poop and the Wagner Farm poop enjoyment.
Yes.
Enjoyment of the poop.
Yes.